What's up guys, welcome back to another episode. We are currently in week 2 of the Nationals build-up, so this is episode, I think, 15 overall. Last week went by super quickly, but before we start, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the Junior Mag boys at TriStar. I really appreciate all of your kind words yesterday, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video. So, last week we had a pretty full-on week of routines. So we went from Monday and Tuesday. Monday we had floor, P-bar, and high bar. Tuesday we had pommel, rings, vault. Wednesday was a bit of a play day. Thursday the same as Tuesday, and Friday was the same as Monday. P-bars, we'll start with P-bars because it's just the first one we started on Monday. P-bars is going well. My Homner skill that my opening skill, cast and then Homner up, it's going good. I'm really happy. I just focusing on leaning forward a little bit so I can swing to that handstand. I would like to sort of hold my handstands a little more, be tighter, point my toes, but also that fell gets traveling quite a long distance. So if I can hold on, grip, and then pop it up so it lands in the same place, it might actually save me some points. I go into high bar. Now, I had a bit of a nightmare in high bar throughout the week. It's not my strongest apparatus. I struggle with dismount, and I don't struggle with the dismount itself, I just struggle with letting go and bringing the tap up and then over rather than, and what I do is just tap out. Yesterday's high bar routine was great. The stuff I did on high bar on Saturday was great, and I just gotta keep working at it, keep grinding, and it will come. I'm happy with how it's progressing. You know, on Saturday and Monday, it was alright. Floor, I'm not sure about my floor routine. Now, I've got double twist, double front, back 3.5. I've been doing front 2.5 before I hurt my foot. Or I could just do a really basic, but hittable routine, which I could score higher. So there's things to play with, maybe bring in the upgrades for next year. So we've got a nice long build-up season, so we can work on those upgrades for next year is probably the smartest idea. I would like to do an extra E-pass or the double twist, double front throughout this, for this Nationals, but who knows really what's going to happen, but that's all right. I think floor is one of my best apps. If I can produce a routine which is hittable, I scored a 13.8 earlier this year, but if I can produce something above 13.8 or even 13.8 itself, I'd be super stoked at Nationals. Now, pommels is the place where it could all go right or all go wrong. I can make the routine. I know I can make the routine, but I always miss one tiny detail, whether it's out of my Savado, I'm leaning back too much and it just pushes me backwards, or in my Magia, I don't pull up enough, or even I just get to the dismount and I'm gassed, you know, from trying to do saves throughout the routine. The flop, I'll be circling and then it'll just pike around at the end and it'll just stop the momentum. So there's all these little tiny things on pommel which I just need to fix. We do have enough time, which is great, but the bit of the kick in the ribs is that we are competing on a Gymnova pommel. Now, Gymnova pommel, I'm used to competing on Spieth. I've competed on Gymnova pommels many times. There's nothing's wrong with Gymnova, but you just have to get used to the differences from Gymnova and Spieth. Now, Spieth is quite a rounded top, whereas Gymnova is quite flat and then straight down. So you are trying to push with your wrists a little bit more flat rather than, and you don't really get away with having to not push down as hard. You always have to be pushing and pulling all the way up and down the horse, which is fine. The good thing about Gymnova horses is that the handles are so nice to do circles on. Makes this really nice noise of. So yeah, the Gymnova horses good in some ways, bad in some other ways, but overall, we have to get used to competing it. So we have one at TriStyle, which is great. We just fixed the matting area around it as well, so really looking forward to smashing out pommels. Rings, I don't know about rings. It's a battle. Rings has always been one of my toughest events. The Yamawaki's getting better. I finally got a strength hold, which is great. It's just getting the handstands. You know, I would 100%, if you're a younger athlete right now, grind your handstands, otherwise you'll pay for it like me. I hold my handstand like this, where you really want to be like that. It will come. I think it's just trying to stay mentally conscious in the routine when I'm doing it. And then finally is vault. It's just difficult. I know I can do it. I'm a good twister. I just need to hit that block. And when I hit the block, I'll get the vault. But unfortunately, the build-ups, so every other vault beforehand, I focus on a hit and then a hit for my block. So the full twist, the 1.5, the double twist, hit, block's fine. The moment I go for my competing vault, I roll off the table and just spin. So I really focus on the twist rather than getting that block. So what I need to do is just break it down, finish this, finish that, pull over, and then twist, rather than hit and twist straight away. But that pretty much sums up how last week was. It's a big week last week. This week's not bigger, but it's about the same. So this week we have one routine yesterday on 3 apps, one routine today on the other 3, break on Wednesday, mock comp on Thursday, break on Friday, mock comp on Saturday. So it's going to be great. It's going to be really, really good. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys sticking around. The rest of the video is just a little bit more from the trainings, but have a fantastic rest of your guys' build up. Thank you so much for all of your kind words from the last video, and good luck to everyone. Have a good one.